While I was working with the former consulting firm, we increased EBITDA and cash for one of our clients by $100 million in only 9 months. How do you drive those kind of numbers? It really starts with the CEO's mindset. Thinking about how we drove cash and EBITDA improvements through mainly procurement and logistics, not so much their operations. Some of the key things that the CEO needs to be thinking about would be, how do you engage your people? What is adding value, what's not adding value, and cut out that minutia so that as their job evolves, the process is improved. How bad do they want it, and whether they believe it when it starts or not. This was driven by mainly a procurement play where we reduced the cost, improved the service, and improved the delivery time. We had to use different data analytics. We had to use their supplier spend cube, as we call it, and understand all of the contractual pluses and minuses of the relationship. And then, most importantly, understand what the CEO of our client would be engaged with the CEO of his key suppliers' partners. And how could such a savings be good for the supplier or the partner, good for our client, and even better for their B2B customer buying heavy industrial equipment. So all those things came together. We did improve the quality measurably by using their own TQM scores at each plant and each part of the process. And then after our engagement of 9 months, we went back a year later to check on the quality and the service that was out in the field. These pieces of equipment are shipped all over the world. We held that secondary study just to the United States and Canada due to travel, but we were able to see that yes, the equipment is stronger, better paint jobs, better quality, better long-lasting reliability, and maintenance programs and insurance were able to be cut as just a sideline. There's really 3 phases in my mind to that initiative. So over this 9-month improvement process, there's the phase where it kind of gets done to you, and to some degree you blindly follow what the experts you've hired to do come in to do. And I say some degree of blindness. They still need to communicate in advance. What are they doing? What are the good ideas? Why are they good ideas? And gain the executive team's decision. It is not the consultant's decision to make. It's the executive team decision. So a little bit of phase 1 is doing it to the team or the client. The second phase is doing it with them. Why did we see the opportunity? What was our perspective? Why did we see this happening hundreds of times a year across many different clients, many different industries? What was our experience, and how can we convey that experience to the local employees or the global employees? So we do it with them in the middle part. And then the third phase is, if you really want it to stick as the CEO, you want the culture change, you want the process improvements, you want your people trained to be able to do it themselves the next time. And I call that the watch you do it phase. So the consultant team gets smaller and your team actually drives those last 6 weeks of results on a 9-month engagement. Additional things that the CEO would have on their mind near the end of a very successful initiative would be, what's the culture change? Is the change positive? Are we making a positive impact on every employee? Are the employees engaged now more than they were? Did they go through denial into, gee whiz, this can happen, into now I did it? And that's what a good consulting firm will leave behind for the CEO. The consulting firm will be forgotten by the people, but the people will forget that they were in denial, and they should be the ones celebrating the great success of lifting EBITDA and cash by $100 million in only 9 months. Change management comes to play. Conflict resolution comes to play. Team building exercises, leadership training, supervisor training, safety training. All these things need to be enhanced, and nothing can be forgotten when you're driving an initiative that's going to give you those types of results. No one suggests it's easy. No one expects the investment to be small, but the return on investment for the individual, the organization, every stakeholder, and the shareholders is extreme and fast. So it's been a pleasure to talk to you about driving significant EBITDA improvement and cash flow improvement. All engagements and all clients are always different, but some of those key things are across the board: CEO buy-in, board member attention and governance, and absolute care for the people to drive the results. In any event, none of the above has been theory. This is true management consulting 101, driving initiative, building EBITDA, whether you're a private equity firm with a 100-day plan, or you're the CEO who tackles making significant impact on your organization by yourself. Here at CEO Zones, we actually have curated partners who've been there, done it, have additional tools, additional methodologies, everything from the boardroom and what happens in the boardroom to supervisory skills, management behavior training, organizational design, compensation, overtime controls, all those different methodologies that you need in your business. We have here as curated resources, both in articles, videos, and in person with our content partners. If you're interested, click the link below.